Hi, welcome to Laura's View and Tarot 2. I am so glad you're here. Today's date is Thursday, July 10th, 2025. One of the chatter points going on this week, the rumors, and it's been spread by somebody in alt media for a while now, is that President Trump has been replaced by a deep state double. And when I've been asked my opinion on that, my opinion is no. I'm sure they've tried, but they haven't. But it's time now, I think, to ask the universe that question. Before we do, I just want to share something with you. As I was doing research for this topic today, I came across an article that I want from a site I haven't explored previously that was just excellently well written that does touch briefly on that replacement theory as well as other things. I'd like to go to a share screen, show you what I found, and share a couple items from it with you. Then the link for that will be in the video description box because you may want to put this site in your toolbox for places that you check for news and information. Because if this article is any indication, it's a really good place to be looking at. Okay, without further ado, here we go to the share screen. And this is from Starship Earth, thebigpicture.com. This is their article from yesterday. Over, not even close. I'm only going to just point out a couple things for you here. This is a good reminder for those that are awake to the fact that this war is not just happening between good and evil on this plane of existence, that there's more going on, that there's more to the White Hats and Alliance than just host countries here in this realm. Okay. He or she, whoever wrote this, said, so much rests on our outlook, our faith, our trust in the brilliant minds who devised this decades-long plan to save the world, and our resulting frequency, which the rest of the world needs to buoy their own lower resonance. As the Starseed Warriors, it is incumbent on us to connect with the rest to form the safety net for the normies. We simply do not have the luxury of an attitude of hopelessness. They go on to say down here, the trashy posts about ascension being a myth and Trump replaced by a body double, absolute bullcrap. All right. And if you read it, I'm scrolling, you're going to see it's quite lengthy, but it goes on to list some things we can really be celebrating and just to remain mindful of and rising above any attempts to lower our frequency or have us take in and absorb false information or troubling information. One of the ways that I know that the war is going well is that there is so much going on as far as pushback from the dark side, the weather warfare that's going on, the media doom and gloom calls tell me that it's going well, or they wouldn't be trying so hard to cause distractions, to cause dismay, to cause discouragement. It would not be going well if it wouldn't be going as well as it is. If that was the case, they wouldn't need to try so hard. So I want to just ask the universe, and it's a difficult question to ask for the tarot, and I'll explain why. I'm going to ask about this rumor that there's been a replacement of Trump because we know chatter was back in his first administration that an attempt was made to do just that. And the clones, which are not made by the good side because they violate galactic law, a clone had been made and they attempted to insert it. And so the story's been around for years about that. And now all of a sudden people are thinking maybe it's successful. It gets complicated because our side, good side, does use a body double. President Trump, as presidents have ever since Abraham Lincoln, uses body doubles for security measures or when there's, lots of um, publicity opportunities and commitments that have to be honored. We said that I heard that the President Lincoln used to have his body double just go through towns, whistle stop on his train and be waving his hand, and it was a body double, but it heartened people to see the person they thought was their president waving at them as he went on about his important business. So body doubles are used. That can confuse the issue. So here's how we're going to phrase the question. Okay. Have the White Hats managed to stop any permanent replacement of our President Trump with a deep state person? So have they managed to stop any permanent replacement efforts to put a replacement and deep state, Donald Trump, in a position of power and authority? Let's see what the universe wants us to know about that. I'm going to switch the camera, ask the cards, and we'll find out together. So one more time, our question for the universe is, have the White Hats managed to thwart any efforts to permanently replace President Trump with a deep state double? Plus, additional insights and information are always welcomed. Let's see what we find out here. Did they manage it? Okay, our first card is the Four of Pentacles. Then we have the Queen of Pentacles. We have the Six of Cups, the Fool, the Moon, King of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. We already have our answer right there that the White Hats have managed to thwart any permanent replacement efforts. They have happened, but they've been thwarted. Okay, now let's look at the cards and see what elements in them, because I always tell you that my tarot reading is a combination of intuition and then elements in the cards that kind of bolster that intuition and make me confident enough to make a statement and share it with you. Plus, additionally, sometimes we get a little broader perspective looking at elements in the card. So the situation is the Four of Pentacles, which talks about being careful with resources. So just a nod here that the White Hats have been very careful with the safety and well-being of President Trump and his family and those he cares about and loves. The Queen of Pentacles kind of clarifies that a little bit, and she is all about tranquility. In other words, have no fear, have no worries. It really they haven't even had to expend that much energy and resources in keeping President Trump and his family safe. Recent past, we have a beautiful card with the Six of Cups, just talking about reconciliation and just well-being, looking out for one another. Also, this is kind of a sibling card. So I think what we're seeing here too is I think sometimes when notable people have had siblings, there have been times that those siblings have stepped into the role of their sibling. And I'm not saying that's what happened here, but that's one of the elements of the card. So it's a possibility, I think. We have the Fool for the current situation. In other words, guys, keep your faith. We're going to new places, and it's a journey none of us have been on before, but we can look forward to a very successful end of all of these campaigns and battles, etc. That the war, like I said, it's not done, but we're on the home stretch in the missions. We absolutely are. Now let's look at the near future. By itself, the Moon would have been a troubling card. Okay, because the Moon talks about lies and it often can indicate a leaving the earthly plane. But where it's aspected so well here, it tells me what it's saying is that the lies will continue. There's still going to be rumors because every time they make someone worry or lose their positive attitude and high vibration. I mean, that's what the Team Dark's down to. They're getting crumbs, guys, off the table. So they're going to continue that, as long as they can, as long as anybody listens to it or gives it energy. That rumor's going to be out there, but we can disregard it because the King of Wands talks about vision and leadership. And that is embodied by President Trump and the White Hats in the alliance. And then the Ace of Swords was our successful, yes, it tells us any efforts that have been made have been thwarted. If we didn't know it from the Fool and the Six of Cups coming up, we have it with a hard yes here. Not only that, but the Ace of Swords it is the success card. It's the victory card. It's the justice card. So yeah, the White Hats have been very successful in stopping those efforts. They have happened, but they have been successfully thwarted. However, they may be playing some games where they make them think they were successful. Think about that. Again, we don't have minds that do military strategy for the most part or play 5D chess. But some of these possibilities are worth mulling over. But the big one to come is just, guys, have some faith. Look ahead. We're getting there. We're getting there. Lies are going to continue, but don't give them energy. Boom. I'm going to get a couple more cards and see what the universe wants us to know for our final bits of information here. Ah, the Tower card's showing up again. I get excited. I told you in the last video, the Tower card starts showing up for me fairly regularly when a big event, a good event, one that's definitely a marker for change, positive change, is coming. And it's starting to show up in my political reads for the United States, just like it did a year or so ago when London Bridge was happening, with the Queen finally being announced gone, and we're closing that chapter off. Plus, we got the Six of Swords here. So the Six of Swords always has a simple message. We're going from a place of chaos and misinformation to calmer waters and a better place where innocent life is protected in the process. Okay. And the tower just says in the near future, those tower moments are coming. So, in other words, yeah, the deep state is really desperate. That's why they're lashing out and causing problems, whether it's flooding or what have you, false flag events, those, I should have said false flappy things, whatever it might be. Okay. Because their time is short. As far as galactic timing might be, maybe not for you and me, but in the near future, as the universe measures time, it's coming. Nothing can stop what is coming either. So let's recap. I shared with you the link to an article that I thought was very comprehensive and interesting and well written, that just talked about how, oh, the war's not even halfway over. There's nothing to be discouraged about, and gave some good factual information. And just a reminder to those of us who are here as starseed fighters, warriors, that we need to hold the line and keep the vibration up for those that can't, or those who don't yet have a lens that's wide enough that they think about things like that they're just simply in the now, in today's headlines or today's news, which would be very troubling to be there. And a lot of the mega crowd is, unfortunately. So we have to help them out energetically. So we talked about how there is a persistent rumor going on about President Trump having been replaced by a deep state double. And we asked the universe, we acknowledge that that's probably happened. I mean, like I said, in 2017, I was reading that an attempt had been made of that nature. Okay, so we had to ask if there has been a successful and permanent replacement of Donald Trump. Did they manage? So we asked, have the white hats managed to thwart any successful and permanent replacement of Donald Trump? Have they managed to thwart it? We got a hard yes on that. So attempts have been made, but they're not successful. They didn't see a permanent light of day. Okay, that was what the universe wanted us to know. Also, front and center, keep going in faith, guys. We are heading out to a new place, a new for our country. Some big changes are coming that are beautiful and good for our world, for our realm. There's changes coming that are good, and we need to hold the vibration and hold that positive attitude going on about that we're here to see good things happen. We're here not to be damaged or dismayed or disappointed, but we're here to see and celebrate the ending. Okay. The other card that said, the lies are going to continue, the rumors are going to continue, the actions in retreat that the deep state makes do have cause harm, and they're going to continue. So there's still going to be lies out there. There's going to be rumors out there. And that's where we need to have our discernment on max and know when something is trying to either have us get discouraged or downhearted, and generate loosh for whatever energy beings want that. And, just knowing truth from troubling fiction. And the reminder at the end was, first of all, we're going to a place that's going to be much calmer, better. We're getting there, and a place also where innocent life is protected much better than it has been in this current reality and realm. And I was glad to see, once again, the Tower card showed up for the near future. So for the United States. So, and that may be the world in this case, but definitely the United States. So we do have a tower moment coming where things are going to change. And we knew, the storm is upon us. We didn't know how it was all going to unfold, what it would all look like. But guys, as far as the tarot cards are telling us, it's getting closer to some of those big events we've been waiting for that are actually going to result in things being changed and improved. That might be as simple as, I know it says simple when it's money, but the fiat dollar going away so that a more currency, asset-backed currency can be publicly acknowledged, used, and stabilize economies and help improve people's lives. It may be some hidden technologies finally opening their doors and helping people. It could be all sorts of things, but good things are coming because this tower moment, while there's those that have to fret about what that might be, those of us that have been on the side of goodness and light and kindness and love, we can just say, okay, fine, let's get this over with now. In the meantime, while that's almost it for this video, I do want to remind people, please be aware that there is a lot of CGI out there, that there's a lot of events that are reported as factual that may not even have happened, or not to the extent that we're told they did. So there's old footage being used, there's creative footage, there's green screens. So listen to all sorts of news, especially if it's dire and disturbing and troubling. If you didn't see it in your own hometown with your own two eyes, give it a grain of salt, okay? Grain of salt. Or look for those people on social media who report, just regular people that put up, I took this video of this event. Here's what I saw. Now, there's some that'll even impersonate regular people doing that, but still, with your discernment, you can see. And so I take a lot of the news with a huge grain of salt, and I ignore a lot of it too. And I recommend the same for you, because if it's not happening right in front of me where I can do something about it, the best thing I can do is embody and project that love and light that I keep telling you guys I'm willing to offer to all of you. To that end, that's the end of this video, and I thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate each and every one of you. I encourage you again to click on that link that'll be in the video description box for that article, and I'm going to subscribe and see if I like more things that particular site has posted. But in the meantime, if you're willing to receive it, I send you love, light, everything bright, and I do. I love each and every one of you, and wish you all the best. Till next time, bye.